So, Dr. Buck, it seems that the personality or the temperament of the early Hanoverian monarchs accelerated or contributed to the formation of the cabinet government led by a prime minister. Can I say that?
Yes, I think that's a fair comment. If we particularly look at the reign of George I, the king is often absent. He's mainly a German speaker. His interests are quite heavily focused in Hanover, and this is the point at which the office of prime minister really emerges in the early 1720s.
Yes.
Robert Walpole, he insisted that only he should be able to have a private conversation with the king. Other ministers couldn't be alone with the monarch. And in that way, I think he underlined the importance of the position of prime minister. And so we reach a period in which the control of government passes much more to the leading Whig lords, and kings have their views and they do interfere in the appointment of ministers. I mean, George II and George III both determined the prime ministers they wanted at certain times, George III in particular with Lord North. But in the broad sense, policy is more and more under the control of the prime minister and the cabinet.
Yes, yes. So can I say that if the personality or the temperament of the early Hanoverians are more stronger, say like strong-minded, say like Charles I, maybe the emergence of the prime ministers might be delayed for some time?
Possibly, but I don't think that after 1688 there was the possibility of a return to Charles I and divine right prerogative monarchy. I think the limitations which were accepted by William and Mary in the Bill of Rights in 1689, that limits very much the power of the monarchy. Not completely, and yes, you're right, possibly the office of Prime Minister and Cabinet Government might have been delayed if there had been a different succession. But I think the most important point is the constitutional restriction on the power of the monarch, which is there from the Glorious Revolution onwards.
Yes, it's there, and that is the trend that is inevitable. Yes, yes. So, Dr. Buck, how do you compare the Hanoverian monarchs with other native-born British monarchs?
Well, of course, some of the Hanoverians, from George III onwards, they are actually British-born. They have lost their Germanness. I don't think that George III himself actually ever visited Hanover. And so they are more British than they are German. But in a way, it doesn't matter because power has moved to another part of the Constitution. And so long as they're Protestant, that's going to satisfy the British ruling classes. George IV, as Prince of Wales, did seek to marry a Roman Catholic lady, Mrs. Fitzherbert, but the marriage was not recognised by Parliament because of the Act of Settlement and the Royal Titles Act. And so it was not possible really for monarchs to deviate from the changes that had been brought about by 1688. And that was particularly so, I think, after the defeat of the Jacobite rebellions, the attempt to restore a Stuart monarchy in 1715 and 1745, both fail.
Yes, yes, exactly. Thank you very much.